Thank you very much. First, I wanted to thank Jill and Don for allowing me to be part of this organization, and for Jim Citron, a board member I know who's not here tonight. But anyway, thank you guys very much for allowing me to be here. Tonight we have the privilege of honoring several distinguished people whose work is making an impact in the fight against cancer. I stand before you now to honor a dear friend, Laura Ziskin. I had the pleasure of knowing Laura for over 30 years. I watched her grow from a young filmmaker into a prolific artist. It's a rare individual who rises to the top of an industry. It takes determination, talent, vision, and above all, an ability to lead and get things done. Laura possessed all these qualities, and she always got things done. Laura was one of Hollywood's most accomplished film producers and studio executives. Her most successful films included Pretty Woman with Richard Gere and Julia Roberts, As Good as It Gets with Helen Hunt and Jack Nicholson, and all 4 of the Spider-Man movies, one that's going to come out next year. Laura broke through the glass ceiling, open to new possibilities for women in the entertainment industry. She was the first woman on her own to produce the Academy Awards, and she did so twice in 2002 and 2007. In between those 2 landmark events, cancer struck. In 2004, Laura was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. The prognosis was grim, but Laura refused to give in. For the next 7 years, she underwent numerous treatments, both standard and experimental, doing anything and everything it took to get cancer under control. In the process, she did something amazing. Laura realized cancer didn't have to be the end of her. On the contrary, she was determined to do everything she could to bring about the end of cancer. She took the darkest moment in her life and created a positive, powerful initiative. Laura seized on this idea and moved swiftly. She joined a group of prominent women within the entertainment and marketing industries who shared a belief that something big needed to be done. Together they formed Stand Up for Cancer, an unprecedented initiative combining the awareness-building brawn of Hollywood with the brains of researchers. In 2008, Stand Up for Cancer aired its first multi-network telecast, an unprecedented feat that brought ABC, CBS, and NBC together simultaneously to air the broadcast. The first telecast raised more than $100 million. The second broadcast in 2010 raised $80 million. This money is supporting dream teams of superstar scientists focused on finding innovative solutions to the most pressing cancer problems, and also provides for innovative research grants for individual scientists and their labs. Laura believed that scientific research was the key to ending cancer. She spoke out in support of cutting-edge therapies, including immune-based treatments like those at the heart of the Cancer Research Institute's mission. Through her advocacy and work with Stand Up to Cancer, Laura inspired millions of Americans to not only see her vision for a world free from cancer, but also take action today and every day until we conquer this disease. In June of this year, cancer ultimately claimed Laura's life. We lost a friend and one of our most vocal and influential activists, but her legacy lives on. As you will see in this short video, Laura's spirit continues to inspire and motivate us all. The great work she helped to set in motion is bringing us closer to the end of cancer.
One in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will get cancer in their lifetimes. 1,500 people a day die of cancer in this country. That's 1,500 people yesterday, 1,500 people today, and 1,500 people tomorrow. I'm mad as hell, and you should be too.
I'm Renee Zellweger.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
I'm Seth Rogen.
I'm Will Smith, and I stand up to cancer.
I'm George Clooney, and I stand up to cancer.
I'm Laura Ziskin, and I stand up to cancer.
Stand Up to Cancer is unique in requiring cancer researchers to join together to finally stop competing against each other and focus instead solely on competing against the disease.
We're in a crisis. We need action. When President Kennedy said, we got to go to the moon, they didn't know how to get to the moon. If someone said, and someone could say, oh, cancer's a harder problem than going to the moon. Okay, so what? It's a problem. You know, we have to be problem solvers. As a nation, we have to focus on this problem and demand that something be done.
The great thing about the human species is that we, the lucky ones, can stand up for the not so lucky.
You got a lot of living up to do. You got a lot of loving left in you. You got a lot of ammunition to tell the world your story. Everyone should know this 'cause it's true. You gotta stand up, stand up, stand up to cancer. You gotta stand up, stand up, stand up to cancer. You have a lot of treasures in your mind.
The issues of cancer are extraordinarily complex, medically, socially, and politically. But so what? Like the trip to the moon or the Manhattan Project, it starts with the will and the vision and the leadership to do it. In my world, in my vision, the hero always defeats the villain. The boy always gets the girl, and cancer is no more.
Ladies and gentlemen, for her many distinguished achievements in advancing cancer research, it is my honor to present the 2011 Oliver R. Grace Award to Laura Ziskin. First, I would also like to acknowledge Alvin Sargent, who's Laura's beloved husband, who's a legendary screenwriter in Hollywood, and to accept the award is her beloved daughter, Julia Barry. Julia.
Oh good, this isn't so big that I can't carry it back on the plane. I was very worried about that. So thank you to Jim Wyatt and to all of you, to the Cancer Research Institute for honoring my mother, her hard work and heroic service to the cause, for recognizing her great success. I'm not here to speak for my mom tonight. Hers is a singular voice, and in the power and promise of her success, it's an enduring call to action. Even in ill health, my mother probably would have flown to New York to be here with you tonight, because she believed in the power of community and collaboration. She also believed in the life-saving potential of cancer immunotherapy, even becoming a pioneering patient herself in the field, thanks to the tireless work of Dr. Cassian Yee. My mom and her co-founders at Stand Up to Cancer have been raising a tide to lift all ships. But my mom's greatest success was her ability to penetrate and transform the way that cancer researchers approach this formidable challenge. I know from the many letters that Alvin and I received after her death that the members of the cancer research community have responded to her plea to focus on collaboration instead of the success of the individual, to focus on the culture of cancer research instead of on strategy, and to focus on cures that impacted patients quickly, not science for science sake. The other reason my mom would have agreed to travel across the country is because she was a very impatient patient, as Dr. Yee and many of the doctors in the room know. My mom had her eye on the ball. She knew that if the people in this room put their mind to it, you could save lives, more lives. When it came to standing up to cancer, my mom did not believe that her way was the only way. She believed in different researchers and research organizations studying different cutting-edge ideas all over the place. But she really believed that maybe, just maybe, if you all pooled your resources, worked together, you could discover a kind of strength and focus that is strong enough to eradicate a disease that kills 1,500 people a day. My mom was a great hero to me and many others, and a great visionary. But she believed that it was up to all of us to find a new way to approach this disease, that the real heroes are in this room. So when you go home tonight, I don't want you to think about past success, but a down payment on the future. I don't want you to think about what she would do. I'd like you to think about what you are all capable of doing to bring her dream to life. And for that, I thank you.